In a quiet village in West Africa, nestled between rolling hills and tall baobab trees, lived a young woman named Amina. She was known across the village for her gifted hands that could turn tiny, colorful beads into beautiful necklaces, bracelets and anklets that told stories without words. Amina had learned the art of beadmaking from her grandmother, Mama Kanda, who always said, "Each bead carries a promise of who we are and who we hope to become." Amina's life was simple, but full of meaning. She woke up each morning to the sound of birds, swept the yard, fetched water from the stream, and sat under the mango tree to work on her bead designs. People from neighboring villages often came to buy her creations, especially during festivals or weddings. Her work was delicate, thoughtful, and rich with culture. Every color she chose had a meaning: red for courage, blue for peace, white for purity, and gold for wisdom. One hot afternoon, as Amina was gathering herbs in the forest for Mama Kanda's medicine, she heard a faint cry. Following the sound, she found a man lying on the ground, sweating and shaking. A snake had bitten his ankle. Without hesitation, Amina crushed the right herbs, chewed them slightly, and pressed them on the wound while wrapping his leg with a cloth. Then she helped him back to the village, gave him water, and let him rest in her compound. The man was a stranger. He wore plain clothes and carried a small backpack. He looked like a traveler or perhaps someone who had lost his way. He stayed in the village for 2 days. Amina offered him porridge, helped clean his wound, and gave him one of her necklaces as a parting gift. She didn't ask for anything in return. The man watched her as she worked with the beads and cared for her grandmother. There was something peaceful about her presence, something real. What Amina didn't know was that the stranger was Kweku Mensah, the son of one of the richest men in the country. He had grown tired of city life, tired of fake friends, business meetings, and people who only saw him for his family name. So he had taken a break, left the city in disguise, and traveled through small towns to find clarity. He had found it, unexpectedly, in Amina's quiet strength. Months passed. Life in the village moved on. Amina kept making her beads, selling them at the market, and helping Mama Kanda, whose health was slowly fading. One morning, a letter arrived. It was the first letter Amina had ever received. It was stamped with a golden seal and smelled faintly of perfume. The letter invited her to the National Arts and Culture Festival in the capital city. Her beadwork had been selected for display. Travel and accommodation would be paid for. She was shocked. Who had sent her work to the city? She packed a small bag, wrapped her best necklaces in cloth, and said goodbye to Mama Kanda with a prayer. The journey to the city was long. The tall buildings and noisy cars overwhelmed her. She had never seen so many lights or people moving so fast. But she kept her head high and remembered her grandmother's words. Each bead carries a promise. At the festival, her work was placed in a large glass case. Crowds gathered around, admiring the fine designs and the powerful meanings behind the patterns. People asked about her village, her story, and her inspiration. Amina smiled shyly and told them about Mama Kanda and her life under the mango tree. On the last day of the event, there was a grand closing ceremony. Important guests and reporters filled the hall. One of the speakers was a young man in a tailored blue suit. Amina almost didn't recognize him. It was the traveler from the village. It was Kweku Mensah. He walked up to the microphone and began to speak about how the most beautiful things in life are not found in money or fame, but in truth and simplicity. He told the crowd about a village girl who had saved him when he was weak, fed him when he was hungry, and treated him with respect, even though she had no idea who he was. He spoke about the necklace she had given him, the same necklace he now wore under his shirt every day. Then he called her name, Alda. Amina stood frozen as hundreds of eyes turned toward her. Slowly she walked to the stage. Kweku handed her a trophy with her name on it and thanked her in front of everyone. She didn't need to say anything. Her beads had already spoken. When she returned to the village, people welcomed her with drums, dancing, and palm wine. Even Mama Kanda, weak as she was, managed to clap and sing a little. Amina's life changed after that. Orders for her beadwork came from all over the country. She started a small school under the mango tree to teach other young girls the art. She never became proud or forgot her roots. She remembered the promise she had made to herself as a child, to honor her culture, to live truthfully, and to help others shine. Lessons from the story. Kindness can open unseen doors. Amina did not expect anything in return when she helped the stranger. Her pure heart led her to an opportunity she could never have imagined. True beauty lies in authenticity. Despite her humble background, Amina's commitment to her culture and values made her stand out in the biggest city. Tradition has power. In a world that often chases modern trends, Amina's beadwork showed that old customs still hold deep meaning and value. Wealth is not always about money. Kweku had riches, but Amina had wisdom, peace, and purpose. Her riches were of the soul. Moral of the story: live with purpose, give without expecting, and honor where you come from. The world notices true hearts, even when they beat in quiet places. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What did you learn from this story? Which part touched you the most? Share your reflections in the comments below. I'll be reading every single one. There's another powerful story coming your way in just a few days, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you're the first to know when it drops. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.